Let's return and restart. Our human perception is usually partial, linear, and isolated. Science is the same. If we overlook or do not acknowledge this, we will go against the truth of the whole. We have only calculated half of the universe, and we have believed in the fiction of the time axis. However, this confession is the courage to go forward to the truth. The truth belongs to the brave. Let's return to nature, to the essence, to the truth, and start again. The only task given to humans is to face the present truth. The choice is autonomous, but the result is inevitable. All of this is in the truth. Declaring the solution of the 7 Millennium Problems. The complex oscillator theory provides a fundamental solution to the 7 Millennium Problems of mathematics. This is the achievement of the complex oscillator theory based on nu plus gravity and time-independent physics. A. Natural principles and mathematics. 1. Nature is a creative, self-organizing system based on mathematical necessity. Therefore, mathematics expresses the principles of nature. Solving mathematical problems can be seen as a process in which humans interpret the principles of nature. 2. The foundation of mathematics is geometry, and nature is a solid, delicate, and creative, self-organizing system created by geometric necessity. B. Why the problem is not solved. 1. All difficult problems lie in the insufficiency and incompleteness of the premises. In other words, they are epistemological problems that occur because the premises are unclear. The same goes for the difficult problems of mathematics. 2. Mathematics is just one of many epistemologies. Therefore, the essence of mathematical difficult problems is also an epistemological problem. The same goes for science. C. 2 fundamental solutions to the 7 Millennium Problems. First, we must face the fact that plus gravity is not included in the premise of physics. This means that we do not know and cannot calculate half of the energy that the universe has. This exposes a very weak epistemological part in science and everyday life. Second, the error of the concept of time. Time is not a substance. Morning is not brought by time, but by the sun. Mass energy, which is the essence of the universe, is dynamic in itself. Time in nature is always present and is sufficient as it is. The time axis of the past and the future is unnecessary. Waste and causes inefficient cognitive divergence. Time is only a measuring tool that is necessary only for humans. Third, these 2 errors in physics arise from the dependent habits of human perception. The absence of plus gravity may have been based on Western religious beliefs. Gravitational energy was considered the only force. However, God gave us the harmonious energy of plus and minus. The wrong perception and premise of a single gravity have long caused structural deficiencies in humans. Fourth, time is an optional calculation. Therefore, it can be calculated and used only when necessary. The biggest mistake in physics is the forced incorporation of the time dimension into the physical mathematical form. D. Plus gravity and time correlation. The essence of the universe is energy, and energy is a physical oscillator with geometric plus-minus gauge, symmetry, stability, and efficiency. Energy is a dynamic self-organizing entity that necessarily possesses the law of conservation of energy and the principle of least action. Energy is not a simple substance, but the essence of existence with the mathematical necessity of geometry. Therefore, all existence is an oscillator with the inevitable principle of motion of plus-minus complex. Since all existence in nature is an entity with its own principle of motion. There is no need for an external time. That implicitly presupposes a continuous supply of energy. E. Conclusion. The solution to the 7 Millennium Problems was solved by correcting two fundamental premises of conventional physics: the single minus gravity system and the fictitious concept of time. In other words, instead of restoring gravity, the fundamental driving force of the universe, to the complex pairing system, we have eliminated the fictitious time axis. The oscillator, the essence of existence, is an entity that has energy, the space it creates, and the temporal properties that humans imagine. Therefore, physics and natural sciences, as well as the humanities and social sciences, should focus on the movement of the oscillator. In this way, complex oscillator dynamics can become the basis of the theory of everything.